Hi, welcome back to Lay Talks. This is episode 6 with your host, me, Alea. And on Lay Talks, we talk about media, things that are happening in my life, things that are happening in your life. Maybe if you comment, we can unpack your life. But today, I couldn't really find any stuff that's happening in the media. So today we're doing Reddit, going back to basics when it comes to podcasts. We're doing Reddit. We're doing AITAH. Am I the a-hole? And we're just going to go through some of the most recent ones or some of the good ones. AITAH for divorcing my bisexual husband so he could explore men. My husband came out as bisexual during the pandemic. I was 6 months pregnant then. I supported him. I brought out the pride flag, joined a pride organization, and I'm proud he felt comfortable coming out to me. However, I am deeply monogamous. I will never have any sort of non-monogamous relationship. My husband would have never cheated on me. Therefore, he would have never had an ability to explore his sexuality with another man. My husband was upset he didn't figure out he was bisexual earlier because he had never been with a man. I did not want to give him a hall pass because it would break my heart. Sexually, we tried some things, but I found it horrible, and he didn't think it was a replacement for a real man. Sorry. Okay. He said he didn't want an open relationship because he would be jealous and was afraid I would leave him for a straight man. He told me he wished he could have a hall pass to be with a man, but I knew I would never agree. Okay. For months, he would confess that he wished he'd figured it out sooner because he would never have been with a man and wished he would explore his sexuality. He fell into a deep depression because of this. They had to increase his medication. I felt that I was preventing him from living his best life. I looked online for resources, and the overwhelming consensus I saw was bisexual men and happy open marriages. A lot of unhappy men cited their inability to explore sexuality as a reason for the depression. I thought it was the best for our daughter to live in 2 happy homes instead of one with a miserable father. My husband deserved to be happy. I told him my decision, and we both cried and hugged each other out. I filed for divorce. I haven't dated since. I'm not in the market for another partner. My now ex-husband called me this weekend and sobbed that I ruined his life with presumptuousness. He was happy to finally have experiences with men, but it wasn't worth losing me. He said he was more miserable than before. I wonder if I'm the a-hole for filing for divorce. I didn't want my husband to be depressed, but I was completely monogamous. I really thought I was doing the best for our family. You 100% were doing best for you. You are 100% doing what was best for you. This has nothing to do with his bisexuality. Yeah, I mean, it does. It does. And it makes me think of my friend Summer. She's also bisexual, but she's in a straight relationship. She's with a man, right? But she loves him down. She loves him down. She's like, oh, I mean, yeah, it would have been cool to be with a woman, but I love my man. So because, okay, so you explore with a man, whatever. You're going to end up in a monogamous relationship. You're going to end up in a monogamous relationship at the end of the day, either with a man or a woman, and you're going to be missing out on one or the other once you choose to be monogamous. This man could not get over the fact that he hasn't had, that he found out late that he was bisexual and wanted to explore. That's okay. If you want to explore it, she set the boundary of being like, hey, I'm monogamous. I can't do the whole hall pass thing and the open relationship thing, which I don't like. I don't like that he was like, oh, I can't do an open. I'm mad about that. Let me calm down. Oh, I can't do the open relationship thing because I'm going to be jealous, but I just wish I had a hall pass. A man will be a man at the end of the day, no matter his sexuality, no matter nothing. None of my cisgendered, not cisgendered. Bisexual, gay, a man will be a man at the end of every day. I don't want you to be in a relationship and have a hall pass, but I want a hall pass because I have never explored outside of that. Come on, man, bro. I'm so happy she was strong enough to divorce because that's sometimes really hard when you love someone. You don't want to get a divorce. You want to stick it out, right? So she was like, you know what? I can't do the monogamous thing. It's not going to work for me. I'm out. I love that. And I hate, I love that for her, and I hate that he's like, oh, I'm more miserable than ever. I wish I was still with you. Womp womp, bro. Womp womp. You missed out. I wonder where the top comment is. You missed out. Womp womp. Info. What I did say when what did you say when you said you wanted a divorce? Did you try to talk it out? If he was on board at the time and only regrets it now, then that's his problem. He cried and he said he would never speak to men or bring up being bisexual, which I never wanted. He should be proud of his identity. Later that week, he reported having depression thoughts and dying he reported having depressive thoughts and dying unfulfilled without exploring his sexuality. That would hurt me. That would hurt me. Saying that you feel unfulfilled in our relationship. It doesn't matter that you're saying you want to explore it with you want to explore and things like that, but you're saying you feel unfulfilled in the relationship that we're in right now. That hurts me. I understand that you're hurt because of you figured this out later in life, but what you're saying hurts me. So let's separate. I'm gonna give you that chance to explore, but you can't do that with me. And she set that boundary. That's crazy. It isn't healthy, and I can't stand to see him in pain. We eventually agreed it would be best for our daughter. She needed a father who was happy in her life. Ooh. Okay. Then you should already know you're not the a-hole. You both made what at the time was the best decision for yourself and your family. He made it clear that exploring his sexuality was very different to him, and you gave him that while also taking care of yourself as a child, yourself and your child. It sucks he is depressed after finding out the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but in the end, he made a decision to put exploring it above everything else. He couldn't have both and seemed He couldn't have both and seemed somewhat manipulative and using his mental struggles to try and get permission to explore while you are married. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy because it's like, oh, you can explore, but no, I can't explore, but you can explore. It's like, bro, that's weird. You're weird. Nah, I don't get to tell my wife I'm going to die unfulfilled because I never got to explore my sexuality with blonde European women. That's an awful thing to say to a spouse. You don't somehow get a pass just because it's the same gender. Yeah, that's tea. Like, oh, I just feel so unfulfilled because I didn't get to be in a relationship with this specific type of person. I'd cry if I was her. I'd cry. Let me know what y'all think about that story because I'd cry. Okay, let's move on to the next one. That's so I don't know that there's no way you can say that. AITAH for not coming to terms with the fact that my wife cheated on me 14 years ago before our marriage. Let's see, because I don't know. I, 35 male, am married to my wife, 37 female, for 11 years and together for 14. We have a beautiful 7-year-old daughter, and our marriage has been great without any major problems until last year. Last year, I learned my wife cheated on me before our marriage. One of our friends became religious and confessed her actions to me, which had me confront my wife. She was shocked that I learned it and apologized profusely about her actions. However, she said it's not something important now because we have been going strong and have a family together. She told me I should come to terms with it since it happened 4 months into being exclusive, and she was a stupid girl out of college back then. My mind told me the same. It happened 4 years ago, and we're happy now. I decided to forgive her and continue our life as usual. Reality was not that great. My mental took a big hit. I realized it's not something that happened 14 years ago for me. The cheating happened for me when my wife confirmed it. I was less confident, couldn't have sex with my wife. I just could not get an erection for her. This turned into feeling disgusted being around her. I even took a DNA and SCT test secretly. Thankfully, our daughter is mine and I am clear of STD. That's wild. Then a year of intense individual therapy started for me. I realized I needed to change somehow. I was not the same person I used to be. I also communicated my feelings to my wife, and after pushing a bit, we started doing couples therapy. However, at the end of everything, I decided to proceed with a divorce. Here are my reasonings. I'm gagged. No way. No way. Listen, decided to proceed with a divorce. Here are my reasons. She not only cheated on me back then, but lied to me for 14 years. She did not confess the action herself, even though she apologized. She dismissed the fact by saying it's not important anymore. Young me was robbed of having a choice. Cheating was and still is one of the biggest deal breakers for me. If I knew it back then, I would have broke it off. I'm happy with my life, and I'm glad that our daughter came to world. She is the light. She is the light that shines the brightest for me. One of the biggest reasons I keep living, but I still was robbed of the choice back then. I see an MC could not be our problems, and individual counseling and marriage counseling could not our problems and my feelings towards her. Bro, this is why it's so hard to read these, yo. Could not fix our problems between and my feelings towards her. Whatever. I also started affecting family. It also started affecting family life, which could not affect my daughter. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling. It also started affecting family life, which could affect our daughter. I think our daughter would be better off having us as co-parents instead of living in a broken family environment where consistent arguments are present. Sex life is basically dead for me. We do not have sex, but I feel like those women on films and series just lay and look at the ceiling, waiting for it to be over. The only difference is I am the man. I do not even want non-sexual gestures anymore. Wow. Last week, I sat down with my wife and explained everything I wrote here in detail. My feelings, reasonings, and some other private things. I have been talking to a lawyer for the last month, and papers are finalized. 50-50 custody, 50-50 asset sharing, and an amicable as possible. I explained everything thoroughly and clearly. She freaked out and had a panic attack. We spent a night in the ER. She is begging me to reconsider and not throw away 14 years. However, even though I would like to stay, it will result in us being roommates and a broken family environment for our daughter. Am I in the wrong here? Oh my gosh, that's so hard to say. I say no because it doesn't even matter. It doesn't, okay. For the people that would say yes, they'd be like, well, try to work on it. And oh my gosh, it was 14 years ago, blah, blah, blah. But for him, it's that serious. He's saying it's that serious. There's not really much changing his mind. He's not the a-hole here. I feel like it's kind of extreme. It is 14 years ago. It was the one time. It's still your daughter. It's still your daughter. No STDs. If there was evidence, though, of cheating throughout the entire 14 years, that's crazy. But I feel like I would be able to look past it. Okay, it was 14 years ago. It was the first 4 months of our relationship. I can look past it. We can work through this, blah, blah, blah. The choice thing is getting to me. The choice thing is getting to me when he's saying, oh, you took away my choice of, like my choice back then. Like I could have broken up with you. Like he feels like he feels like in the last 14 years, he didn't have the opportunity, or he felt like he couldn't leave. That's what it looks like. It feels like he couldn't leave. And so finally he has a reason that's like, oh my gosh, finally, like you cheated on me 14 years ago. This is what I'm using so that I can leave. Because I feel like I was robbed of my choice, which I'm like, bro. So you had that, like those words kind of make it feel like he was ready to go already. But you're not in the wrong here. Don't linger it on. You tried for a year. It didn't work. Cut it so you're not wasting any more of your time and wasting more of her time. You're 35. You're young. She's 37. She's also young. You haven't even hit your 40s. You can find another person. Let's see what the top comments are saying. This isn't an a-hole or not question. You aren't able to love her the way you did before. You no longer trust her. Your relationship is dysfunctional. Therapy didn't help. Calling you or her, after all, she is a cheater. An a-hole will solve absolutely nothing. All you can do now is to make the separation as smooth as possible for your daughter. Someone else wrote this in the thread months ago, and I still remember it. The affair happened 14 years ago for you. It just happened for me. Like she's had 14 years to process and lie about it and then just let it go. For OP, it just happened. He's still dealing with all of it. It's not just the affair, but the 14 years of lying by omission too. It's brand new for him. Yeah. I agree with that. It's brand new for him. I that's how I thought of it too. It's like, yeah, she's had 14 years to process it, but he's just now being like, I got cheated on. And who was it? Did you cheat on him several times? I don't know if you're doing this again. That's so tough. That's why you don't cheat. That's why you just end it. AITAH for leaving my wife after she insisted she wanted to be a homemaker / housewife. Let's do it. I, 26 male, and my soon-to-be ex, 28 female, have been together for 6 years now, married for 2. Sorry. She's recently gotten into her head she wanted to be a housewife, even though we have since the dawn of our relationship agreed that both of us would work and there would be no stay at home in our relationship. When she started having these ideas, I shut her down immediately and reminded her that our relationship was since the beginning against these dynamics and that I wouldn't change that and rather divorce. She got super offended and said that taking care of the house can be really demanding and basically a job if you do it properly. I said something along the lines of, I agree, but it's a job. That's why I pay professionals to do it. I pay people to clean the whole house, do dishes, do laundry, lawn, and gutter. Oh, snap. She's staying at a cousin's place and everyone from her family and friends keep bombarding me via text or calls to tell me I'm the a-hole for not supporting her stay at home and taking over housework. Apparently, she's not even eating properly and ended up in the hospital 2 times already. I can confirm it's true. AITA facts brought up a lot by friends and family. What about if you had kids? I had a vasectomy done at 20. I never wanted kids. Even being snipped, I still use a condom just in case. We both agreed no kids since before dating. Where is this man? Who cooks dinner during the week? I do all 7 days of it and pack her lunch as well. Who does most of the homework? Who does the most housework? Most of it is contracted. What isn't is mostly done 50-50, but I cook all meals, so I end up doing more around the house. It's her house as well. You can't just tell her to leave. I bought the house before the marriage, and in our country, anything bought before the marriage aren't considered marital assets and not split during divorce. Some applies to cars, not mine, and 99% of the electronics and furniture in the house, and the vast majority of the finances. Do you even love her? Yeah, I do. And it pains me to not have her here. I've been crying myself to bed ever since she left and haven't been getting better at all. But marriage is also a contract, not just love. And I don't feel like she's honoring what we agreed upon by wanting such radical change. Therefore, I deemed us no longer compatible. Whew. Edit. Sorry, I should have included this in the post. Her reasoning basically is, I hate my work and it makes my life miserable, but you make 90% of our income anyway, so you could support me and I could be happier that way. Something along those lines. Her work is very stressful and severely underpaid field, and she's been very over it for a while. She went on about how I actually like my work, unlike her, so it wouldn't be a burden. Oh my gosh, he makes 90% of the income? Why does she need to work? Sorry. From a girl's girl perspective, you make 90. If you were to make 50% of the income, 60 maybe. 60. If you're gonna make 60% of the income, okay, 70% and up, does the other person really need to work and you like your job? You make 90% of the income, she makes 10%? Okay. You make 90% of the income. She makes 10%. You hire her. You know what I'm saying? You hire her to do all the housework. You would be saving money instead of and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The fact that you make 90% of the income has thrown me because I was like, you're not. But maybe a little bit. Everyone kind of sucks here. Listen, you'd be saving money if she did the housework. If you fired everybody that does the housework and does the dishes and da da da, and she did it instead, you're saving money there. And you're not really okay, you're gonna lose 10% of your income if she quits. Womp. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me see what the comments are saying if they're on my side. All right. Comment. Would you support her to go back to school and learn a trade that isn't so stressful? Electricians make good money, I hear. Yeah, I'd give her full ride through school if she found something that would make her happy. That's so wild. So you'd pay okay. Have you suggested that to her? Because to me, it sounds as a way for her to become happy again and for you to feel like she's doing something with her life. And I get that you want a partner to actually contribute to society outside the home. Listen, she is contributing to the home. If she's at home, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm a girl's girl here. If she's like, if you feel like she's not contributing, I would understand if she's like, oh, I just stay at home and do nothing. If she's staying at home and cleaning and cooking and blah, 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 she's contributing to the home. And you'd rather spend money for her to go to school than just, you know what I mean? You'd rather spend money to go to school than just have her do something that she already knows that she likes. I guess because if you were to get a divorce, it is nice to have a degree on your back. It is nice to have your own income in general, but 90% of the income, bro, I'm not working either. Hold on a second. I will try to talk to her about it. Not going to lie, I'm partly guilty because I kind of panicked when she started talking about it, but mainly because she said she didn't want to work at all and had given up on her dreams, and it was just a lot at once. I'll try to talk to her later today and suggest sending her to school or something that she enjoys. Bro, leaving work because she has given up on her dreams sounds like a recipe for isolation and disaster. If she thinks that's going to fix her and it doesn't, she'll keep asking for more and more external changes. She needs to go outside and figure out what she does and doesn't want and what she could learn and love to do. Having you taken care of her isn't self-fulfillment.